Hello everyone, you are watching Learn with Lovejeet, and in this video I will be discussing some problems on pointers. So let's start. Now in my first problem, here inside the main function I have declared two variables x and y. X is initialized with value -7 and y is initialized with value -5. On line 10, I am printing address of variable x using this address of operator and x, and on line 12 I am printing address of variable y using and y syntax. On line 14 I am printing values of x and y respectively. Okay, now here on line 16 I am calling this function func, and the first parameter is basically simple integer which is x, and the next parameter is I am passing address of y. As I have already told that address y is of type int star. Okay, so this is my right hand side. When I'm calling some function and passing some parameters, this is basically the value passed is on the right hand side of assignment. So this address is of int star type. So on the left hand side, I should have a variable of int star type. So that's that is what I have declared inside this declaration. On the left hand side, I will be having some variable of int star type. What int star type variables are known as? These are pointers basically. That is variables capable of holding some address. Okay, so I am passing first parameter is I am passing x, simple x variable, and the second variable is I am passing address of y. Now let's go inside this function definition for func. The first parameter is named x, which is basically a simple variable, and the second parameter is integer type variable y. Basically y will be pointing to some integer that holds basically integer value. Y is pointing to some variable that holds integer value, and y will be basically storing its address, because I have assigned during function call I have assigned this address of y to this parameter y. Okay, now on line 25 I am printing the value that is contained in y. Well, what this y contains? This y simply contains address of the variable that was passed during function call. I have passed address of y. This I have passed address of this y during function call to this function func. So what y will contain? Y will contain address of this y variable. Okay, so let's see. See here, address of x is 6487580. On your machine you may get another address. Okay, the addresses depend on machine to machine. Address of y 6487576. Now here address contained in y, this is same. Okay, because I have passed address of y during the function call, and this address was contained in y. Now this y is pointing to the same memory location as this y. Okay, so this y I am referring to this memory location using this pointer variable y. Okay, now let's see what happens on line 27. X is assigned the value x into x. What x contains? X contains -7. So -7 into -7 is 49. So x is assigned value 49. Okay, now here pointer y is equal to pointer y into pointer y. Pointer y, what is pointer y? Y contains address of y, and pointer y means value at that address. Value at that address is -5. So this pointer y is -5 into this pointer y will also be -5. -5 into -5, 25. So this will be 25. Okay, now on the left hand side I have pointer y. This means that y is whatever address y contains, change the value there with the value on the right hand side. So y contains address of this y. Okay, now value at this address will be updated with 25. Now I've already told that in C everything is passed by value. Okay, so here x, the values that are passed, that is simple x and address of y, these are passed as values. Okay, x is having some value that is -7 and address of y is having some value like 1000. Okay, these are passed by values and the values are basically received inside these temporary variables x and pointer y. Now in case of simple call by value, the changes that happens on the temporary variables, they don't affect the values in the actual arguments, okay, that are passed during the function call. However, in call by reference, although I have passed the value, I have passed the address only of a variable during the function call, but I am directly changing the content of that address. So that's how I am able to change or update the values during call by reference, because the value that was passed by address and I'm directly changing the content of that address. So here this x is basically simple local variable of this func variable, okay, func function. So whatever the changes are there, these are local, okay, because these are happening on this copy of x only inside this func. But in case of pointer y, I am doing the changes on the address that I received during the function call. So the changes done here will reflect the effect on actual arguments. So let's see that here x remains -7 and y is equal to 25. See, when I printed the value here, x is equal to -7, y is equal to -5. Now after this function call is complete, I am printing the value of x and y again. So x remains -7 only, because the operation that was done was basically equivalent to call by value. The changes were done on the local copy that func function holds, local copy of x that func function calls. Okay, so the changes will be private. However, in case of y, the value is updated to 25, because using this pointer I am changing the content of the address that was received. So in case of pointer y, I am basically doing call by reference, and in case of x I am doing call by value. So this example was about call by value and call by reference concept. Now let's see our next example. Okay, let me close this. Now here I have declared two functions. First one is change. The return type is void, that is it is returning nothing, and the first parameter is int star and the second parameter is int star, that is the arguments are of type pointer type. Okay, so they will be basically receiving address during the function call. Okay, now the next one is the update function named update. It will return nothing, and the first parameter is int star star and the second parameter is int star. This int star basically means that it is a pointer variable that will be holding some address. This int star star is basically pointer to a pointer, that is this is simple pointer holding address of some variable, and this int star star will be holding address of some pointer. Okay, this will be clear when I will be explaining this. Okay, so now let's move on to the next line number 9. Here I have initialized a variable x with value 100 and y with value 200. Okay, here I'm printing value of x and y, which will be printed 100 and 200. Now I am calling this change function. I am passing value of address of x and y. Okay, so let's assume that address of x is 1000 and address of y is 2000. Okay, now inside this change function, now a is equal to 1000 and b is equal to 2000, because a and b are of integer pointer type of integer. Okay, a is referring to some variable that will be holding integer as value, and same for b. So here during the function call to change, I have passed the addresses of x and y, and These are received in A and B. Now A contains 1000 and B contains 2000. I have assumed here that address of X is 1000 and address of Y is 2000. Now the addresses are received in A and B. Now again I am calling this function address of A and B. I am calling this update function and I passed address of A and B, simple variable V, and address of A. Let's assume that address of A is here 10,000 and B is address of A here is 10,000 and address of B is 20,000. Okay. So what is passed here? Address of A. I have passed 10,000 here and B. What was B? B basically contains address of Y. So this will be this. Okay. Let me write here like this also. Address of X was passed. Okay. Address of X was 1000 and address of B was passed. Address of Y was passed, which was 2000. Okay. That was received in A and B. A contains 2000, B contains 2. A contains 1000, B contains 2000, and then update function was called. Address of A and content of B was passed. That means I have passed 10,000 and 2000. Content of B equal to 2000. Now inside this update function, I have declared a variable named temp of integer type. Now let's see what this contains. Now here the value of A will be 10,000 and value of B will be 2000. Okay, because I have passed 10,000 here, so A will contain 10,000 and B will contain 2000. Now here temp is a simple variable uninitialized. Okay, now temp is equal to pointer A. Okay, now let's see here. A equal to 10,000. Pointer A will give me value at this address. Pointer A is basically value at address operator. So value at this address 10,000. What is the value at 10,000? Okay, so what is the value present at 10,000? It is 1000 because basically 10,000 is address of A, and if I'm applying address of operator there, so at 10,000 1000 is stored. Okay, so here pointer A will give me 1000. Now again pointer is applied here, so pointer A will give me, now pointer is equal to 1000, pointer at pointer A, if I write it like this. Okay, now this is equivalent to pointer at 1000. So what is pointer at 1000? What is the value stored at 1000? Value stored at 1000 is 100. So it will give me 100. Okay, so to temp I will assign 100. Okay, so it should be clear. A stored 1000, pointer A will give me value at 10,000. Okay, A stored basically 10,000, pointer A will give me value at 10,000, which will be 1000, and pointer A will give me value at 1000. 1000 contains 100. The content at 1000, memory location 1000 is 100. So temp will store 100. Now pointer B, here B contains 2000 and pointer B will give me value at 2000. What is the value at 2000? It is 200. Okay, so on the right hand side of this assignment operator, I am having value 200. Now on left hand side, what I am basically doing, A contains 10,000, pointer A contains 1000. Now I am telling the program that whatever the value is there at pointer A, what is the value at pointer A? What is the value at 1000? It is 100. So whatever the value is at 1000, this 1000, change it to or update it with the value on the right hand side, that is 200. So I have changed the value at 1000 with this 200. Okay, now pointer A will contain 200. Now This temp contains 100, so B contained 2000. So I am telling to change the value at B, that is the value at 2000, which was 200, to be updated to or changed with the value on the right hand side. What is the value on the right hand side? It is 100. So now pointer B will contain, or the memory location that B pointed to will contain 100. So now I have changed the values of X and Y successfully. So let's see the, okay, what is the problem there? Okay, I have to remove this. Okay, and also this. Now let's execute this. See, X equal to 100, Y equal to 200, X equal to 200, and Y equal to 100. I have exchanged the value. Okay, hope this example cleared your or helped you in understanding pointer concept more in deep. Okay, now let's move on to our last example. These function declarations are not mandatory here. Okay, now here inside this main function I have declared a variable named x with value -7. Here using this statement I am printing the address of x. Okay, so some address will be printed. Let's execute and see what is printed here. 6487580. Okay, now let's comment this line and execute this. I'm getting the error L value required as left operand of assignment. On the left hand side of assignment, there should be some quantity that can be changed. Okay, like I am having some variable a and I am assigning some value 1000 to it. So I should be able to change the value or assign it the value. Okay, it should not be a constant. Like, okay, here address of x basically is a constant. X, when x is declared and defined here, it will be getting some memory location, and that memory location will be having some constant address. Okay, in memory, like 1000 or 2000 or like this. Wait just a minute, I will comment this again. Okay, here this memory location that x is given is having address 6487580, and these addresses are constant inside memories. Each byte inside the memory is having some address, and that address is constant. I can't change that address. Okay, using this address of operator or value at address operator. So that's why I am getting this error that L value is required, because I am updating this address of X that the CPU assigned to for X with value 10,000, but it is not allowed. I can't change the address. So that's why L value, this value, the compiler is telling me that L value is required. That is, on the left hand side, I require a value that can be updated or changed, but addresses are basically constant values. These can't be changed. So that's why this error. I cannot change the address of any variable. I can change the value, but I can't play with the addresses in memory. Those are constant. So this is about L value error concept. Thank you for watching.